back when horses and buggies existed, it made sense to have dirt roads. That
Yeah,
was appropriate for the conditions. But when cars came out, we started putting cement roads down because they rode better on that.
yes,
And a part of my argument for why I think the ball rollback from USGA is silly is that the course setup can defend against some of these things that we're dealing with, or their concerns about the ball
right.
going too far and equipment gains. Things evolve, things change, and I would, to me, going back doesn't make sense in anything. Once you've
Agreed.
reached a certain point, let's keep it moving forward. Let me get this USGA, kind of their objectives with this, up on the screen so everybody can know what we're referring to. So their proposed, this is their distance update. They've been working on this for a couple of years. Proposed local rule to require use of golf balls tested under modified launch conditions reflective of the longest hitters. The measurement they're using is a club head speed of 127. I don't think there's anybody currently swinging that. I forget the name, but there's one player that's like 126
Yeah.
with driver one. And so, again, physically, will we be able to get there one day? I'm sure. With workout programs and all the different things that are available to players, this is a new game. I agree that somebody will get there one day consistently, but we're not there. And
Right.
this honestly probably wouldn't take place until 2026. But again, we'll table that for now. This is intended only for elite competitions, the pros, and they're only talking about the men's game, not the women's pros, just men professional golfers, and no effect on the recreational game, as they said. So, kind of rewinding back to the Valspar, I think this course defended itself very well against long hitters. Again, you have people like Justin Thomas. Jordan Spieth has gotten longer this year. So he's at the top of his club head speed. I think they posted he's at 216 this year. Gary Woodlands. But you put some curves in the fairways. You put some overhanging trees where you have to play for position. You put some thick rough around, the fairways
Got to be
up by the
accurate. Exactly.
greens where you have to place shots.
Yeah.
I think that's the fix at the end of the day. And I'll have one example, and then I'll let you kind of give your thoughts on this. You know, back when horses and buggies existed, it made sense to have dirt roads. That
Yeah.
was appropriate for the conditions. But when cars came out, we started putting cement roads down because they rode better on that. So we had an advancement, and then you adjusted to that advancement. So these old school courses that maybe just have super straight fairways, maybe they need to adjust, or maybe we lose some venues that aren't able to keep up with today's times. You don't change the technology. You don't go back to horses and buggies. But that's just my
Yeah.
thought. Tell me what you think.
So I mean, you can go about this at two different aspects. You don't even necessarily need to change course setup or anything like that because at the end of the day, people are still going to want to be in the fairway. They're still going to want to hit accurate shots. So if you're long and you don't need to hit driver, that's fine. But you better be able to dot your I's and cross your T's on that 3 iron or that two hybrid or whatever that you're going to take off the tee. Because regardless of not, if you can't control the golf ball as it is, it doesn't matter if we're rolling it back for distances. And then as far as course conditions go, that's stupid to me too, because these courses, just like you said, can set up against that. Like there's no reason for us to roll back the golf ball. And then and so like a couple of the pros have like they're trying to gravitate towards wanting the amateur player to be involved, and I agree. But even past that, everybody that grinds for something or looks for extra improvement is going to go to the gym. So you're telling me these guys that work so hard to finally be able to hit the ball further are doing this all for naught? You're looking at a guy like Matt Fitzpatrick. Matt Fitzpatrick is so anal about his numbers. He finally got in the gym. He hits the ball faster. He hits every club faster now. You're gonna take that all
Mhm.
away? Like For what? It just
Right.
doesn't,
Right.
like, again, it doesn't make sense to me. And then lastly, before I get to rambling and ranting, um, there's nothing wrong with fans coming to see these players go as low as physically possible. Who doesn't want to see these guys shoot? When's the last time we saw 59 or anything like that? We want to see these numbers. So
Yeah.
so leave the ball alone. Let these guys see as physically low as they can go, and then you adjust. These guys aren't shooting 30 under all in a 4 week event in a 4 weekend event. Nobody's shooting these
No.
numbers. So again, what is the purpose?
Right. 10 under one this week. 10 under one,
Right.
and you know, on a tough golf course. So, I agree with everything you said, and I think even from an accuracy standpoint, so Matt Fitzpatrick is a perfect example of somebody who was a technician and was able to navigate around golf courses and be highly successful without the distance initially. And you
Exactly.
saw when he added it last year what it did for his game. Does he
Major.
look drastically different physically? No. He still looks like Fat Fitzpatrick from a few years ago. A little bit soft in terms. He doesn't look like some super specimen, but
Right.
he's able to still navigate around the course with skill, but added some distance off the tee. And so I think that's amazing. And you look at somebody like Bryson DeChambeau, who's no longer on the tour and struggling over on Live to even get in the top 10 of that tour with 48 players. We
Right.
saw when he added all that speed, he was not able to keep the driver in play a lot of times. And
Exactly.
that was his struggle with Cobra, designing a club where he could swing it as fast as he physically could and still hit it straight. And it just wasn't possible. The physics of where the restrictions are on equipment and what you can deliver from a speed perspective just don't match up. And they're never going to be able to match up at these incredible speeds. And so there's already the defenses built in. And so the ball argument is just silly to me.